And let's see. There's this thing. There we go. All right, guys, I think I got it. So, guys, welcome to our Friday morning call. As we were saying before, we're like a round table, kind of sharing common experiences and tips and challenges, anything that's kind of weighing heavy on us. We always start this call with what's going on, not just in our business life, but in our personal life. Anybody have anything that's been like whoo-hoo over the top this week? Big deal we can all celebrate a little bit?
I've had a lot of family come into town as of late. Unfortunately, it's kind of for not the best circumstances. My uncle's been sick lately, so I have, the silver lining, if you can call it that, is I've been seeing a lot of family lately, which is nice.
Yeah. And that's it's kind of sad that sometimes it takes those kind of rough situations to get everybody together.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll keep your family in our thoughts and prayers, and just what a blessing that you get to see everyone too.
Thank you.
All right, guys, anything else? Everybody's having a boring week?
I got a puppy.
You got a puppy? Who got a puppy? Guys, I can't
Liam.
Liam, what kind of puppy did you get, Liam? That's a big deal.
It's a lab mix. My girlfriend and I got her from a rescue. There was a pregnant mama that they took in, and I think she had like nine puppies. Mm-hmm. And we got one of them.
You got one of them. Good. A little boy or a little girl?
The little girl. Her name's Maya.
Oh, that's beautiful. What color is she?
She looks like a straight black lab, but she's got a white patch on her chest.
Oh, sometimes the labs do get what they call them splashes. They actually will sometimes show up with white. I have two friends that they're yellow labs. They almost look they were dipped in black paint because like their legs, part of their legs is black. So it does happen.
Yeah, we think she's a mix with something. So she's kind of got a lot of black fur, but she's got brown fur in her too, and then the white. So she's cute though.
She sounds it. You have to bring us a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liam, that's exciting. Good luck with the.
Thank you.
Is anything else? Don't leave anybody out. Okay, so business side of things, the big thing we celebrate on the Friday call is being OTB. Not so much production, but just, getting out there and protecting a family. Sometimes that can be really challenging. So we have, let's see, so far, Kyle, Brad, Jessica Hybrins, Dylan, CJ, Toy, Ina, Brandy, Kelsey, Dane, Greg, Ken, Melinda, and Michelle. Guys, congratulations on that. Greg, anything about your week you want to share with us real quick?
I'm sorry, Trish, what now?
All right, Greg, anything about your week you want to share with us real quick?
No, other than it just started off real slow. I'm getting more demos, but you got to get through the nose. Yeah. And I just kind of try to focus on that, you're just getting closer to a yes. So
absolutely.
And that's kind of what keeps me motivated.
Yep. Sometimes, like you just said, every no gets us closer to the next yes.
Yeah.
Greg, people are going to think I paid you to say that because today's theme we're going to have to be dealing with rejection.
Okay. Well, I can attest that you did not pay me to say that.
Yeah. Sometimes it was explained, actually, I think Zach explained it this way, that sometimes when we're paying the system, it's almost like we're planting a garden. Some seeds sprout right away. and some things take some time to kind of, germinate and remain in the dirt. But it's those things, the longer it can take to make it happen, usually it's going to land a bigger release. So far on our side, we have Brian, Chris, Ed, Harry, Josie, Leah, guys, Todd, Trish, and Zach. Josie or Liam, anything you want to kind of share about your week so far?
Yeah, I kind of said it earlier. It started off, hit Monday and Tuesday hard, and the last few days have kind of slowed up. I actually had a group demo that I was supposed to be in at 8 o'clock, and the place was empty. So I'm guessing nobody was there.
Oh,
but just gotta keep pushing.
because glad you're with us. We can kind of pump a little bit. Last week I walked into a place on Friday. The owner, Friday at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 3 dozen donuts, and and I got there, and the office staff goes, "Justin's not here." I was like, "We don't need." I felt like in my head, I have donuts. You're here. I'm here. This is happening, and we got just literally, we're good guys, and took care of it. So, Josie, when you get there, and
I thought about bringing donuts this morning, so I'm glad I didn't.
Glad you didn't. Yeah, I was just going to say there's donuts or a bunch of pizza, and put up with. So Josie, yeah, you're going to be a big help with this call on rejection too. All right, guys, let's get started. So as we talked about last week, some common challenges, not just for newer partners, but for all of us in sourcing. All starts with who we talk to. How do we find clients? Today, we're going to talk about a big one, dealing with rejection, hearing no. Last week, we talked about objections. Basically, talk about turn negatives into positives by reframing and be able to decipher the difference between a and a rejection. Real quick before we go on, anybody have any thoughts on how to tell, or any tips they've picked up with of how to tell the difference between an objection and a rejection? Well, really, last week, what did we talk about an objection really being?
Oh, they need more information.
Exactly. Right. So it might be, they're not going to come out and say to us, "Hey, I need more information." It may be words, "I don't need it," or "I have to go talk to so-and-so." What would the difference between that be and a rejection? Any thoughts, guys? So sometimes a rejection may start out like an objection, and you can handle it that way, and we'll talk about this. But to me, I think a rejection flat out comes down to, you've made your best efforts to give them more information or a different way to think about it, and it's just a flat out no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about too, we our most precious commodity is our time, and we don't want to turn it into a battle of the wills, trying to turn a rejection back into a positive. So no is a tough word for anyone to hear, especially for us. Our lives depend on someone saying yes to us, right? Because what are those yeses for us?
Can you say that again?
When we hear yes from someone, what does that generate for us and our family?
Oh, it means we can protect that family.
Protect
make
that
a little
family.
bit of money.
Exactly. So it's kind of a two-pronged bonus, right? We've taken care of that family, so we have that peace of mind. But just as importantly, we're not a volunteer organization, so we appreciate being able to take care of our family too, right? We all have bills. And sometimes it can get really challenging, especially in the beginning when you're hanging on every yes. When our lives depend on being able to create the profits that we need to fulfill our purpose. I know for a lot of us, our purpose is to, yes, protecting families, absolutely, but also taking care of our family. Anybody ever be so fearful of rejection that they don't get out of their car? Has that ever happened?
Oh yeah.
So sometimes that fear can actually be greater than the actual rejection. It can immobilize us. And then if you think about it, that's influencing our ability to perform. So I think for me, focusing on making a choice to take a small step by adjusting our view of rejection can help us personally turn negatives into positives. So we actually can view a rejection as a positive. Because just like Greg said, every no will bring us closer to the next yes. And maybe we'll do this one week, or we'll do it with Van. I don't know, a year or so ago, he actually had us do an exercise where we calculated the amount of income that each yes generated for us. And then we also calculated the amount of income that each no generated for us. And it was really interesting. A no actually calculated more income than a yes. So if you think about that, that sounds bizarre, but hearing no lets us move on to someone that's going to help to say yes to us. So just like Greg said, every no can actually bring us closer to a yes. Let's see. Why isn't this, hang on, I don't know why this isn't playing. There we go, that was what we need. Okay. Thank you guys there. Catch up. All right, maybe, and maybe not. Sorry about that, guys, technical difficulties. Guys, any thoughts about what rejections, how they make you feel, they may make you make in the day?
Yeah, Trish, if I can jump in real quick. Having a little audio issues here, I think. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if anybody else has looked at it, but that action overcomes fear video that Kyle sent out. It kind of covers some of that in it, where, if you push yourself to go towards the fear, typically that helps you expand and grow. But even the examples that she gave, and just what made me think of it was what you just talked about as far as, getting out of the car and going into a place. But action always overcomes fear. So if you just have to push yourself out of the car. And when I was talking to Tom Hickey one time, he read something somewhere, and he said, well, I figure if I step out of the car into the open, then I'm committed. So I have to go in.
Isn't that funny that first step of opening the car door and getting out of it can be the hardest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Just getting out and opening the door. Think about it. Can anything really horrific happen to us if we get out of the car, even if somebody says no? I mean, or we get struck by lightning or die on the spot, or we're gonna blow up. Is anything really horrific gonna happen?
Well, no.
No, right? What's the worst thing that could happen?
They say no and they're not interested.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Josie, again, I'm really sorry about what happened to you this morning. I know how horrible that feels when you have a day that's all planned out and then it goes out the window. But right, absolutely. Hey, they said no. And that actually lets us move on more quickly. And did we wouldn't lose anything by them saying no? Did we personally lose anything because they said no?
No, not at all.
Right. Who's the one that actually lost out?
Well, they did.
They did, absolutely. Right, they did. We did our job. Our job's just to share. Right, we share and they say no. Something happens, that's on them. If we don't share and something happens, that's on us. You guys know, absolutely. Everything to gain. So there are some tips of how we as superstar sales professionals can handle rejection. So here's 4. Easier to deal with rejection if you expect it. It's not. Don't take it personally. I always think about, and I tell agents I train, nobody ever wakes up in the morning saying, hey, I really hope somebody interrupts my day to sell me cancer insurance. Right? So rather than think, hey, no one's interested if you get rejected, let's see if we can use that reframing trick and think something like, I know that not everyone wants or needs a family heritage. No problem. Every no, like Greg said, brings me closer to my next yes. Because that's protecting our time. A lot of this comes down to protecting our time. Not this one, maintain an emotional distance. Who's the one person that we really have control over?
What was that?
Who's the one person that we have control over, ultimately?
Oh, ourselves.
Right. Do we want to let somebody else, who chances are we're probably not ever going to see again, influence our thoughts? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Guys, there's been days just like Josie where I've gotten stood up in the morning and said, okay, now what? Now you're back to cold calling. And you never know, that next cold call may lead to something so wonderful than you would have than you had earlier. Guys, let's not let others influence us. We also don't know what the other person is thinking or dealing with. We all have stuff. We have stuff. We talk to have stuff. And you never know. They may be just having a really bad day. So don't let them ruin our day too. So as far as reframing, rather than think everyone thinks I'm just here to sell them something, everyone thinks a salesperson is a scummy job. Who's walked into a business and the first thing they say, what are you here to sell me?
Hear that a lot.
That happens.
Right. And Josie, I think you said it once a couple weeks ago. All these businesses, we're not the only ones walking in their door. Right? They see us come in with our iPads and a smile on our face. But what's their first thought? Oh yeah, they're here to sell me something. Josie, what do you say when someone says to you, what are you selling?
You're breaking up. Can you say that again?
Does anybody have a good kind of comeback or a good response when someone says to you, what are you here to sell? What are you selling?
I say not a whole lot. That's why my boss is mad at me.
That's a good one.
Kind of make it into a joke.
Yeah, I try to turn it into a joke.
Okay.
I'll say something like, that depends, what are you buying? And then I'll try to change the subject.
Guys, you know what? I forget who I heard it from, but it's helped me a lot. And it is from someone very high up in family heritage. And I apologize, I don't remember who said it. When someone said to them, what are you here to sell? their response, this is what I use. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to protect you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
Like that. That usually will lead to more of a conversation. And again, you can mean like you can say,
Sometimes,
make a joke out of it, laugh a little bit.
yeah. Sometimes I'll say, I'm just here to leave people better than how I found them,
Perfect.
or something along those lines.
Yeah, Josie, same kind of idea, right? Protecting them or leaving them in a better place. Absolutely. Because I personally, you can all chime in. I think staying away from the word sell, because unfortunately, a lot of people do have a negative connotation towards being a sales professional. So again, it's our job to help change their perspective by leaving them in a better place, giving them a different experience, showing them that we are different. So maybe we could reframe that rather than thinking everyone thinks I'm just here to sell them something, into I choose not to focus on my feelings or allow others to dictate my reactions. Just like Greg's been doing, just like Josie's going to do today. I choose to focus on what I can control. What are the 3 things that we can control? Our thoughts, habits, and attitude. Any thoughts so far? Questions, comments? Touched on this one a little bit. Don't take rejection personally. Just like we were saying, we don't know what they're dealing with. It's not about us. The rejection may come from reasons that have nothing to do with us. Maybe it really is bad timing. Maybe they had a bad past experience. Maybe they really do have serious, economic challenges. Maybe they had a fight with their spouse before they left the house, and so they're seriously in a bad mood.
Yeah, and Trish, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but a lot of times the way that I try to look at it too is when I get a no, it doesn't mean no, it just means not right now.
Yeah, perfect.
So
Thank you.
always someone to follow back up with, in a few months down the road.
Absolutely. Do you have how do you keep track of that in Sales Rabbit? How do you keep track of where to go back to?
Yeah, Sales Rabbit, I'll put it in either as a, if they were pretty adamant about not being interested, I'll put it in as a not interested. And a lot of times some people just say like, oh, we have this in place, everyone's all set, the employees wouldn't be interested, and, they aren't letting me kind of show them how we're different and how we help people. I'll just kind of, yeah, all right, yep, I understand. No worries, I'll catch up with you down the road. And then, because at that point you're just wasting your own time and their time. So if they're not budging, if you're not able to kind of at least tell them what we do, I would just try to get out there and follow up with them down the road.
Absolutely, because what's that protecting you? You said the key word. What are you protecting by getting out there sooner rather than later?
Your time.
Time. I know we talk a lot about time, but that is one thing, guys, that is not renewable. And our time is directly connected to our activity, which connects to our income. And we have another PowerPoint wanted to, we don't want to turn into a battle of the wills, egos, right? But absolutely, thank you for that. But following back up too shows that we are different. I actually have a business right now where the gatekeeper sent me an email, we're not interested. But I had an appointment to talk to the owner. And I didn't see that email when I went anyway. Now they're on board. So guys, I love that, just not right now. Be mission-minded. Just like Greg said, no success is coming. If we put in our dues, the system will always pay. May not pay immediately. The system pays at its own time, but the system will pay. Timing and execution are keys to success, just like the word not right now, down the road. So there are families and businesses who will see and appreciate the value of family heritage. And any thoughts, guys, comments?
Just got to keep that positive mental attitude going.
Absolutely. That's been, for me, a lot of it, there are these calls. What other kind of things can we use to help with our positive mental attitude?
Using good self-talk, positive self-talk.
Absolutely. Positive self-talk, affirmations. Putting that word "yet" behind it is huge. I don't know if anyone started the Kate Wright referral course, but last year I got that tip from her. Put the word "yet" behind it. It will immediately turn a negative into a positive. So protecting our time comes down to focusing on our priorities. We don't want to focus on what we can't control. So 3 things we can't control, right? These are just some examples. You guys can help me with this. COVID-19. Who would have ever thought we'd be trying to protect families in the middle of a pandemic? Someone else's reaction and their attitude. Josie's been a great example of this morning. What can we control? Our activity. Josie, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but is your plan today to kind of go home and roll up in a ball, or is it to go out again and cold call? Josie, what's your plan for the rest of the day that your enrollment blew up this morning?
Oh, that's Liam. I don't think Josie's on the call.
I'm sorry, Liam. I apologize.
It's okay.
I'm sorry,
No,
Liam.
it's all good.
Everything I gave credit to Josiah for, it's really going to credit towards Liam. Liam, you have to jump in.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Liam, I
No,
apologize.
it's all good. It's okay.
All right, Liam. So what's your plan for the rest of the day? Are you going to crawl up in a ball and go hang out at Starbucks and play on watch Facebook all day, or are you going to get out and go back to work?
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm actually sitting in the Starbucks parking lot. But no, I'm not gonna do that.
It's all right.
I'm actually meeting up with James, and we're gonna ride together for a couple hours. Kind of pick each other's brains, get some good info, and just keep calling on businesses. And then I've got some appointments this afternoon, and just gonna, like I said, finish the week strong.
Liam, that's perfect. Liam's taking a little time right now to come be with us and pump himself up. He's going to go meet up with James, which is going to help work on his attitude. And then he has appointments. That's a really solid day, Liam. Good for you. We've talked about this when we walk into a business. Be a friend first, not a salesperson. Lastly, we want to ask every person we talk to for referrals. It can be as simple as, most people appreciate learning about what I do. Do you mind if I jot down a few names? Who do you know? And then you want to fill in a memory jogger. Who do you know from church? Who has any other big thoughts on getting referrals? I'll admit that's something I still need to work on. So we've been talking about this as we've been going through techniques to help ourselves deal with rejection. Real quick, Liam, how do you deal with it? What do you do to help yourself deal with rejection?
That's another thing that you kind of talked about. I definitely need to work still on referrals. But I think that's a good thing too. Even if you do get a no or you get a rejection, still asking them, obviously, whether you demo them or not, you kind of tell them what we do. It's, same thing. Most people just appreciate hearing about what we do and how we help so many people. Who comes to mind that might benefit from it. So even if you get a no, you're able to kind of build some referrals and work off of those, which could, ultimately turn into a sale, family protected. So just doing that, and then just brushing it off, not taking it personally and going to the next business and just keep working.
Just keep working. Momentum builds, takes away anxiety. Greg, how about you real quick? How have you dealt with some of that rejection that you've had this week? Greg, we still have you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry, Trish.
All right, I know you guys are muting and unmuting.
So what was the question?
What's helped you personally, like any one tip or technique that you've used this week to deal with all that rejection you've been dealing with?
Well, I read testimonials a lot, and that just kind of drives home the need.
You guys reading testimonials, reading Eagles?
And yeah, Eagles. You talking about Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read Eagles, but I read a lot of the testimonials, different ones. Just kind of remind me that everybody out there really does need it.
Right, so it helps you stay mission-minded.
Yeah.
Great. Good deal, guys. These are great tips. As I do not know what happened. Oh, wait. All right, this one's going to play. This will help motivate us.
It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great who spends himself in a worthy cause? Who at the best knows in the end the triumph by achievement? And who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly? That his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. So unfortunately, those were not my words. Those were words that Theodore Roosevelt gave in his speech in 1910 in Paris. And I take a lot of inspiration from that quote because I think it kind of puts things into perspective for me when I get caught up in the wrong sorts of things. I think about when everything's said and done and I'm looking back on my life. Will it matter that I had a little bit more traction or received more views or more attention from people, or that I created something that was meaningful to me? One thing I'm really noticing is that the most successful people out there are the ones that are always there. They're always showing up through thick and thin, through good and bad. They're always there. And on far too many occasions, I've allowed my own doubts and fears or somebody else's negative comment to affect my decision-making and my judgments and prevent me from being the man in the arena. And I really just want to change that. So I wanted to share this piece, a little bit of inspiration, hopefully a little bit of motivation, and use some of the footage that I got while I was in Barcelona, shot by a friend of mine. I'll tag his Instagram down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing.
Is there any thoughts on that? What matters more, our actual results or how we're going to make people feel at the end of the day? What are you going to remember?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, what's really going to matter the most at the end of a year or the end of the day? Are we going to be most remembered by our actual numbers, or are we going to be remembered by how many families we actually helped and protected, and what the big change that we made for that family?
Yeah. How many families we actually end up protecting?
Right. So being purposeful, and there
Right.
will be people that will be critical. Hey, why are you doing this job? It's 100% commission. It's it's crazy. Do we want to listen to those people? We want to listen to the no's that don't really understand or appreciate what we do, or do we want to know in our true hearts and those families that we do help that we are being mission minded, and whose opinion is really going to matter to us at the end of the day? Because I think our opinion, right? Knowing that we're staying true to ourselves. And the last thing he said, just like we've been talking about, the most important thing we can do is keep our activity up and our attitude. So don't let the naysayers influence and take what we can create away. All right, so no matter, I know a lot of us have had challenging weeks this week. It happens, that's why we're all here. It absolutely can change with your next stop. Who has a good action plan for the rest of the day that they'd like to share with everyone? Liam's going to finish up our call, go meet up with James, get some good positive exchange, and then go to his appointments. Greg, what are your thoughts on your plans for the rest?
I'm sorry, Trish, go ahead. Hello?
Hey, Greg, what's your plan for the rest of the day?
Well, I got to do that 10 o'clock call.
All right.
And after that, I've got an appointment set in Savannah, and I've got the area I'm going to be working today.
Good for you. Good for you. Guys, and let's all jump on and support Greg. Greg, do you want to give us a little preview of what you're going to talk about, or do you want us all to wait till 10 o'clock?
Well, I mean, honestly, from what he wanted me to talk about was just basically my past, which what I was doing before I came to work with Family Heritage. Of course, I was in law enforcement for a number of years, and then I was working at Gulfstream Aerospace, into corporate security with Tom Hickey, and I got laid off in October of last year, and was just kind of got a decent severance package, but was trying to stay in the security industry, and just couldn't find quite what I was looking for as far as a management position. And actually, it was another company that reached out to me by email, wanted to set up an interview. So I figured, well, not going to hurt. So I went and sat down with them, just didn't feel comfortable at all in that environment. So I reached out to Tom, and and he put me in touch with Brad. And after many hours of talking with Brad and wearing him out, I pretty much, he offered me the job, and I was like, yeah, you're just trying to get rid of me, right? He's like, man, you want to come work with us? Just tell me. But all kidding aside, it was really, really good conversation. And listening in on the calls and just how much it really truly is like a family.
Yeah.
And that probably means more to me than anything. It's just that knowing that we've got so much support coming our way, everybody cares about everybody, and yeah, it was definitely a great decision.
Thank you, Greg. Well, we're very blessed to have you with us, and thank you for all your help on the call. And I have a feeling I forgot to hit my share screen button. You guys have you been able to see my screen or not? PowerPoint.
Not your screen.
Guys, if I do that, please remind me to hit the share screen button. I apologize. I need help.
No, well.
Okay, so the videos and stuff we didn't we didn't miss much other than the PowerPoint. If anybody wants me to send them the PowerPoint, just let me know. I think
I just think you do a wonderful job with these.
thank you, Greg.
You put a lot of your heart in it, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, guys, I truly appreciate everybody's conversation. I do view this call more as a round table or a bird of a feather. So I may start the discussion, but one person can't have a discussion, just like one person can't be a leader. So we're all adding to this, but Greg, thank you. Absolutely. That's what family does. So do me a favor going forward. If I forget to hit the share screen button, please tell me. All right, so guys, my plan, I am back to cold calling today. So I'll be out cold calling. I'll finish up with you guys and hit the car. Yes, cards to follow up with, hopefully over the weekend. So guys, we're all in this together. We all do the same thing. Those of us that have fabulous numbers, we're out cold calling too. Never forget to cold call, guys. It is the lifeblood of keeping you going. Keep the pipeline full. All right, guys, let's all get to work. We're here if we need each other, and let's jump on at 10 o'clock and support Greg with his call. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Trish.
Bye.
Thanks, Trish.
Bye.
Have a good day, guys.
You guys, have a great day. Bye.
Work hard. Have a good one.
Work hard. Have a good one, guys.